I've been thinking a lot about Instagram stories lately. Like, did you know that 85% of users use Instagram stories every single day? And I want to help you get a piece of that reach. My name's Tori, and I'm your go-to social media coach. And today I want to help you not only understand why Instagram stories are essential to your business or your brand on social media, but also give you some ideas to get started with them right now. Let's get started. As we dig into the power of Instagram stories, first, I want to talk about what sets them apart. Unlike Reels or feed posts that have more that polished perfection or that longevity on your feed, stories are spontaneous. They let you have that authenticity, that behind the scenes raw content. And they expire after 24 hours, so there's a really see it now or miss it vibe that creates urgency and can be really compelling. First, let's talk visibility. Stories sit right there at the top of your feed, unlike feed posts and reels that are a little bit more susceptible to the whims of the algorithm. And so when you log onto Instagram, you see those stories right up top. And let's not forget about engagement. Stories are built to engage with polls, question boxes, emoji sliders. It's really a way for your followers to feel like they're part of a conversation with you and not just there to take in your content. Highlights are a really important thing to mention here because if you don't want your content to expire in 24 hours, highlights helps you organize past content right there at the top of your feed so people can find information quickly. I don't know if you've ever gotten stuck trying to scroll through past content on a feed, trying to find a video or a photo that you saw in the past, and it just takes forever. Highlights helps you organize that content right at the top of your feed. You can think about it kind of like pages on a website if you want to have some about me information, or here's my products, or here's some FAQs I tend to get. It really helps you organize that information right at the top, which you can't do in your feed. I know I've been after my nail tech to use highlights on her Instagram account so that I can easily find nail inspo right on the top based on season or color. And last, but certainly not least, and this could be the number one reason to post to stories, could be the only reason you post to stories for some people, linking. Instagram stories are the only way to link on your actual content out of the Instagram platform. When you want to link your audience away from Instagram, say to a specific product or a sale, a landing page, a lead form, even your website, a YouTube video, stories are the only way to do that. There used to be a threshold that you had to have 10,000 followers to do this, but no longer. If you go into your Instagram stories, tap on stickers, there is a link option where you can link directly on your stories. So while Reels and feed posts are still important, the algorithm still needs us to post those. Don't forget about those. Stories are a great way to make your brand feel more relatable and accessible, to kind of show that daily life behind the brand, as well as all these other reasons like linking out, getting the interaction, and summarizing or organizing your content the way that you need it to be. Now, hopefully your gears are turning a little bit with all of these ideas of potential things you could be posting to stories. But if you want some really specific examples, don't go anywhere. I've got some specific ideas here that should work for any business. And if you don't feel like they relate to you, or if you have a question, please feel free to comment. I will respond. I'll get back to you and give you some ideas that will hopefully work for you or your business. First, let's talk about behind the scenes content. Let's pull back the curtain and show the people behind your business. Give people a glimpse into the day-to-day. I have two examples here. The first is for maybe a local bakery. You could show early morning before it opens, people actually kneading the dough or baking the cakes, and show the teamwork, the craftsmanship, the time that goes into your product. And this can be a great way to show people how much love and care you put into your business. Another idea could be a fashion retailer. You could show the behind the scenes of a photo shoot for a catalog or upcoming marketing campaign. From makeup to styling to putting together outfits, what goes into all this? Not only will people find it interesting to see behind the scenes, but they'll feel like they have a sneak peek at some of the upcoming clothing that they might be able to purchase from you. The second story idea is user-generated content. Now, this one's a trust builder. So make it a practice or a rule that when someone tags you online, you share it to your stories, especially if it's favorable. Hopefully it's always favorable. But what this does is not only show that you're paying attention, that you're communicating with your audience, that you're part of this online community, It also doesn't take you any extra time. It's that third-party credibility that marketers really strive for, where you can say, look, it's not just me saying it, they're talking about it too. They mentioned me too, they know what's going on. So it can really give you a little bit of a boost in people's eyes that way. One example for this user-generated content could be an outdoor gear brand. They could share whenever somebody posts about using their products outside, whether it's a tent or a backpack or shoes, and it shows the outdoors and where their audience or their potential followers really want to be. Another idea would be for a beauty products company. Those before and after transformations are really powerful in getting people to subscribe or follow or purchase. So have some customers give you photos of before and after transformations and then share those to your stories. The third story idea is testimonials or reviews. Now this is super powerful. It piggybacks off user-generated content a little bit because we do need the review to start, but once you get reviews, be sharing those to your stories. It gives that third-party credibility and people will know that they can trust you because other people trust you. One example here could be a local restaurant. You could do a campaign where you give a coupon if people review you on Yelp or Google and use those specific reviews to create stories with the testimonials. The fourth story idea is progress updates. Now, this can be a great way when you're working on a product or a new service or a new offering and you want to build up the anticipation and get people excited. Sharing that in your stories is really great because it creates that urgency, right? People want to follow along to see if they can get a glimpse into what's coming. One example could be a video game developer. You could show concept art really early before you launch the game, or maybe trailers of gameplay in the stories only, not in your feed, to really drum up that excitement and that urgency. Another example could be a home renovation business. Show the transformation as it's happening in your stories. Give little glimpses of your progress as you're working on a house project. At the end, you can curate all that into a bigger post where it talks about from start to finish, but share those little glimpses along the way in your stories. The fifth story idea is themed content. Sticking with this idea of anticipation, when you have regularly themed content, it can get people excited for it and ready for it so that they then are ready to engage once it's posted. Some quick ideas here are like days of the week. One that's widely used is Monday Motivation, but you can have a lot of fun with this, like Wellness Wednesdays or Fuzzy Fridays if you're a pet store. Make it about the fuzzy pets you have in the store or things that you can offer the fuzzy pets and share photos of them. If you don't want to focus on a day of the week, maybe once a month, focus on how it's made. And every month you share how something is handcrafted or manufactured in your business to create that anticipation. One more example, you could do a challenge accepted where once a week or once a month, you challenge your followers to something. They'll be encouraged to share it to their feed or their stories, and then you share that feed post or story to your own story when you're tagged. So this could be, if you're like a fitness coach, it could be a workout of the week or a workout of the month, and they have to share them doing that workout. Or if you are a bookstore, you could do a challenge of like book of the month where they have to read that book that month and then share their rating. You could really get creative here and making sure that you're keeping it consistent over time. So again, your followers know to anticipate it coming. Okay, now that we have some ideas flowing, I really want to help you amp up the strategy a little bit just to get an even bigger boost from your story content. We're going to talk about interactivity. I mentioned this briefly earlier, but it's really important for stories to have some kind of interaction on them. It can be as simple as an emoji slider just to show that people like or don't like the story, or it could be a poll or a quiz or an ask me anything. Again, stories are the way that people can really interact with your content. And remember, the easier it is for someone to engage with a sticker, the more likely they're going to do it. So what that means is typing out a whole question in an Ask Me Anything box takes a lot more time than sliding an emoji sticker. So if you're really wanting to get high engagement on your stories, stick to easy one-click things that people can do without having to read a whole slide or a whole story. You may have heard me say this before, and I'll probably say it again. When people are on social media, they are not using their whole brain. We need to make it really easy for people to engage. They are in scroll mode. So think of quick little things that people can do to engage with your brand to help you increase the reach on your stories. Before we wrap up, I have 3 more quick tips that I want to share with you to maximize your story impact. First is timing. Timing is crucial. You want to make sure you're posting stories when your audience is actually online. You can find this information in your analytics. It's right there for you. If you use a tool like Metricool, it'll tell you when. That's a free tool that helps you schedule posts. Second is hashtags and location. These are stickers you can put on your stories. Use them. It's just one more way for Instagram to give your story a little bit more reach based on the hashtag or the location. So make sure you put those on there. And third, and probably again my favorite, the word I say over and over again in almost every single video, consistency. Be consistent in your stories. Try challenging yourself to do one story a day for a week. When people know to expect story content from you, that builds that trust. The more they see you behind the scenes and that authenticity and that live feeling of content, they're going to build that trust. And the more trust we get, the more engagement we get. The more engagement we get, the more Instagram pushes our content to more people. So that's a really easy way, consistency, to get more reach. And there you have it. Instagram stories are way more than just an expiring piece of content. They're a great way to engage with your followers, link them where you want them, organize your content, and show that real you behind the camera screen. I hope this gets you inspired to try out stories by yourself. Let me know how it goes in the comments. If you got one piece of information out of this video that's helpful, please hit that like button so I know to make more content like this. And don't forget to subscribe so my next video is really easy for you to find. Until then, thank you for watching and stay social.